It's the 27th day of July 2020. Good afternoon to you and welcome to the midday news right here on Pan-African Television. Now for the next 60 minutes, we will be recapping stories that have made headlines across international, local, business, sports, and of course, international news. Now we are live in our studios at Belenque, Swanika Street of Accra, and we are live across 32 African countries via satellite. We are live on Facebook at Pan-African Television, of course, live on YouTube at Pan-African Television. My name is Ivan Banks Abba. Now to our top stories. Rawlings condemns cruel, barbaric lynching of 90-year-old woman. Our society institutions failed us, Mahama as he condemns lynching of 90-year-old woman. Ghana's COVID-19 loads hit 32,969 with 29,494 recoveries. Now to some business. Now property tax collection very difficult for assemblies, Savannah Regional Minister. Now to some sports. Now Andrew Ayew goal gives Swansea first leg edge over Brentford in Champions playoff. Now I'll bring you some more stories pretty soon. Stay with us, we'll be right back. Alright, so welcome back from that break. If you're just joining, this is the news, midday news right here on Pan-African Television. Now this news in detail. Now the former president, John Jerry Rawlings, has called for serious investigation and arrest of all who were involved in the cruel and barbaric lynching of 90-year-old woman accused of being a witch in Kafaba near Salaga. Now, the former president said he was appalled by the violence meted out to Frail Ikuya Dente, who was accused in an uncivilized manner of being a witch by fetishist priestess and subsequently subjected to lashes and beaten last Thursday.
In a statement issued on Sunday, 26 July 2020, the former president said all the security agencies should take the matter seriously and ensure that it is thoroughly investigated, all the assailants apprehended and prosecuted, and the appropriate judicial punishment meted out to them. Mr. Rawlings said too many people, especially women, are being physically abused in their marriages and relationships, and the strong hand of the law must be brought down hard against such culprits. While commending the Domestic Violence and Victim Support Unit of the Ghana Police Service, he urged them to act more swiftly to prosecute those who abuse and terrorize their partners in marriage and other relationships. The former president said people have become brazen in their use of violence and a lot of more effort has to be employed, not only by DOFSU, but by the prosecuting authority and the judiciary to ensure that violence is not perpetrated on any individual. The body of the late Ikuya Dente has been deposited at the Tamale Teaching Hospital mortuary while the Savannah Regional Police work to apprehend the culprit.
Alright, so welcome back. Now, the former president, John Mahama, has also condemned the lynching of 90-year-old woman at Kafaba in the East Gonja municipality of the Savannah region. Ikuya Dente was killed for alleged witchcraft.
On his Facebook posts, the former president and leader of the NDC, John Dramani Mahama, said he has not been able to watch the whole video, but said the society and institutions failed the poor 90-year-old woman. He further questioned the presence of assembly members, unit committees, and the police and BNI when it mattered most. It was sad to see a crowd standing by and watching the gruesome spectacle. Very sad reflection on us as a people in the country, Mahama said, adding, just by luck, someone captured the sorry side on the smartphone. many more dental queers have died pitiful and recorded deaths, he asked. He therefore hoped that at least an example can be set with the perpetrators to prevent any such future macabre incidents. His running mate, Professor Nana Jane Opoku-Agyeman, has also condemned the act in a statement issued earlier.
On the international front, the Inspector General of Police, James Opon-Buonu, has placed a 2,000 bounty on the alleged soothsayer who led the murder of 90-year-old Ikua Denta in the Savannah region.
The soothsayer and her accomplice stormed the East Gonja municipality of the region to drive out witches accused of hampering the progress of the town folks. The deceased was accused of witchcraft by the soothsayer, Selina, and her accomplice. The IGP has initiated a reward of 2,000 Ghana cedis to anybody who can give the police credible information leading to the arrest of Selina. Some 48 hours after Ikua Denta was lynched in the full glare of a large crowd, the police are yet to effect any arrest. The chief of the town, as well as the assemblyman who has been invited by the police to assist the investigation, failed to turn up. The chief called in sick on Saturday morning. He said the police could only apply diplomacy in their investigation. Several individuals, groups and human rights activists have vehemently condemned the killing of the frail 90-year-old woman. There has been mounting pressure on the police to arrest the perpetrators of the heinous crime. Ikua Denta, according to reports, was dragged 800 meters away from her home, only to be beaten to death by her attackers in broad daylight. She was hit, kicked, and whipped by the two women as the large crowd cheered them on. The deceased was seen in a viral video pleading with her attackers to spare her life as she denied the accusations of being a witch, but her pleas were flatly rejected by her abusers. Any person with credible information that could lead to their arrest should contact police in Savannah region or call police toll free on 18555 or 112 or on mobile phone number 0550 3233 23 0275 000 156 or on WhatsApp 020 66 391 21.
All right, so we have been joined in conversation by Francis Xavier Sosu, who happens to be a lawyer and a human rights activist. Good afternoon, sir.
Yeah, good afternoon, and good afternoon to your cherish.
Yes, thank you very much for joining us. First of all, let's go straight to the lynching that have happened. Now, as a human rights activist and a lawyer, what do you make of the lynching that was meted out on Ikua Denta in the Kafaba community?
Well, it's a very unfortunate situation, but then again, it reveals how insensitive we are as a people, because this lynching was done right in public.
Okay.
There were many people who were standing by and was watching what was happening, and they did nothing about it. I am sure in that community there will be an assessment man, there will be unit committee members, there will be pastors, imams, there will be the budget executive will be having police officers who are from the district police to the municipal people that way around. And yet we looked on for this poor old woman to be lynched. And it's quite unfortunate. For me, we must begin to rethink as a people whether we have reached the level of development we claim we have reached, because the advancement of the country is also measured by how you treat your most vulnerable people.
That's true.
So when you look at what happened to Kusuma, clearly complete violation of the right to life and right to human dignity were all violated. It's quite unfortunate.
Okay, now let's look at this. People have characterized this action by, religious beliefs, superstition, cultural values, and what have you. Have we learned anything from what happened some years back with Major Mahama? Have we not learned anything at all from it?
Well, the truth is that we have learned much from Major Mahama. That's the first thing. That in fact, beyond Major Mahama also is the fact that we have very, very serious cultural practices that are inimical to the interest of people, and that's what we have to look at. I have seen in recent times, sometimes we've had people who are either imams or ulamams who may want to take a decision to either ban somebody or banning somebody for some offense done in the community. We've seen chiefs who have risen up and said they are study people from their community or hospitalizing people from the community. We know of the witch camps that have been abolished. We know some still exist. We know of the clerkship that still exists in some miniature forms across our villages. The truth is that as the people, we haven't weaned ourselves off completely some of these bad cultural and religious practices, which are part of our traditional beliefs. Yeah. But when you look at the 1990 Constitution, it makes it very clear that any of these practices that are inconsistent with the spirit and the letter of the Constitution are all illegal and cannot be. We cannot continue that way. So I think we have a lot of work to do. The NCC has a lot of education to do.
Yes, I was going to ask you this question: that do you think we've done enough, or we have not done enough as far as education is concerned in educating the masses?
As a people, we haven't done enough. When was the last time NCC went about educating people about cultural values that are in to our collective interest? It's zero. When you go to the various communities where some of those practices exist, we have teachers in that community. We have religious leaders, pastors in those communities. How many of them have actually set out to sensitize people to let them know that those practices are wrong and cannot continue in the manner in which they are? So as a people, we haven't done much to educate our people. And I think that is where we are. Because right now, we know that people have the freedom of religion and to manifest their religion. That is definitely someone else's belief. But any belief that violates the right of other people cannot be countenanced, because when you go to Article 12.2 of the Constitution, it says that the enjoyment of our rights are subject to the limitations or they are subject to the right of other people in the public interest. So clearly, those rights have not been properly used, and we haven't done enough as a people to educate people who don't know about this.
Okay, so now the Inspector General of Police, James Opon Bueno, has placed the 2,000 bounty on the perpetrators of the murder. Do you think it's a step in the right direction to be able to bring the people who are involved in this action to order?
Definitely the right direction, because the first step to stop this needless annihilation or needless violation of rights of other people, especially the most vulnerable in our community, is to fetch out people who perpetrated the crime and punish them. That is the only way the community will learn from that. And not only that, I think beyond the people who committed the atrocity, we must go and look out for those onlookers who were just, because passively they were contributing to the event. They did nothing about it. So they contributed, they aided, they abetted. So I think that they should be able to look out. We have the video, they should look through the communities, fish all those people out. When they are put before court, I am sure that will serve as a difference to other people that may have similar motivation.
Okay. No, so finally, before I let you go, now, as a lawyer and a human rights activist, what do you think should be the actions being meted out to the perpetrators of this crime? Now, I'm saying this in relation to the fact that, I mean, we recall that some years back when this same action was meted out to Major Mahama, the perpetrators, as it stands now, would not even know exactly how the whole case is going. And so what do you think that should be done to such persons when being caught?
I think justice must take its place. It said that justice delayed is justice denied. There are times that it makes no sense because the justice of the case delays so much. Right now, like you said, with respect to Major Mahama, many people might have given up because the justice of that case has delayed. I am hoping that sooner than later, people who were involved in this, who were seen in the videos, will be apprehended. they'll be sent to court, and I'm hoping that if it is possible, the CJ would have to designate some court that can hear some of these back issues speedily, so that we can have a speedy resolution to the matter. And I believe once the perpetrators are punished, it will serve as a deterrent to other people.
All right, thank you very much, lawyer Francis Xavier Sosu. So we have been in conversation with Francis Xavier Sosu, who is a lawyer and a human rights activist. Now, away from that, the Ghana's COVID-19 caseload has hit 32,969. President Akufo-Addo has said in his Sunday address to the nation on the COVID-19 situation. The president said it is alarming to see that 32,969 people have so far contracted the virus, but said hospitalization and death rates have consistently been very low as compared to cases in other countries.
The behavior of the virus, he said, has baffled the experts and defied most predictions, but 5 months on, the country is witnessing a much milder manifestation of the virus in the country than was initially feared, which he believes is the grace of God and taken by the government with support from the general public that have produced these results, notwithstanding the immense dedication and hard work being exhibited by the healthcare workers who continue to care for those affected by the virus and for the sick in general, and to whom we continue to remain indebted, he added.
We are in the 5th month of the outbreak of COVID-19 on our shores. At first glance, it is alarming to see the 32,969 people have so far contracted the virus. But a closer look at the data will tell you that we are steadily on the path towards limiting and containing the virus and ultimately defeating it. The figure to look out for is the number of active cases. When I delivered update number 13, the number of active cases in the country, i.e. those who as of 27 June 2020 had the virus, stood at 4,245. As at midnight of 24th July, nearly a month later, the number of active cases in Ghana stands at 3,307. Again, a month ago, the number of recoveries stood at 12,994. Today is 28,927. This means our recovery rate has improved from 75% of positives a month ago to 89.5%, all in 1 month currently. Our hospitalization and death rates have consistently been very low, some of the lowest in Africa and in the world. The Ghanaian people massively are not dying of the virus in the hundreds and thousands that were earlier anticipated and predicted, and that are being seen on a daily basis in some other countries. The behavior of this virus has baffled the experts and defied most predictions. But 5 months on, we can say that we're witnessing a much milder manifestation of the virus in this country than was initially feared. The rate of virus-related deaths has remained persistently low at 0.5% of confirmed cases. And I dare say, it is the grace of God and the measures taken by your government with your support that have produced this result. It is also important
So away from that, the Northeast Regional Minister Solomon Namli Bua has advised Ghanaians to adhere to all COVID-19 safety protocols to stay alive and tell the story of all the pandemic when it's all over. He made this call to the launch of the second phase of disinfection of market and public places at Naregu in the Northeast region.
The Northeast region has recorded only 8 cases at the Nurses Training School, East Mamprusi Municipal. Regional Minister of the area, Solomon Namli Bua, believes the low case count can be attributed to the adherence of the COVID-19 protocols and the disinfection of public places organized by the Ministry of Local Government and Rural Development. He advised the public to adhere to the protocols to live to tell the story to their unborn generation when the pandemic is over.
Also set themselves into reflection to see how they can adhere to the protocols that goes with the COVID-19, because we need to be alive and be healthy. So let me use this opportunity to crave the indulgence of every Tom, Dick and Harry, that as we get back to our various homes, as we get back to our places of work, as we continue to contribute to the development of this country, let's understand that the protocols that are needed to fight this almighty pandemic is something that should not be taken as a joke, because you risk you risk getting COVID-19 if you stay away from nose masking. You risk getting COVID-19 if you don't adhere to the social distancing. You risk getting COVID-19 if you stay away from sanitizing your hands as and when there's the need. Any little thing you touch, as long as the sanitizer is with you, you just need to spend more than 5 seconds doing this, and it will go a long way to really reduce this to the very minimum. Because at the end of the day, COVID-19 will leave us. But the question is, when it leaves us, how many of us should be alive to tell how the whole thing went? We pray that everybody in Northeast will be alive to see the end of COVID-19, so that we can give thanks to the Almighty God. I want to thank you, the media, once again for your effort.
Deputy Regional Minister Tahiru Tia Ahmed, who took part in the exercise at the West Mamprusi Municipality, was grateful to government for the exercise and condemned the National Democratic Congress criticism of the cost of the disinfection exercise as presented by the Minister of Finance in the mid-year budget review statement.
We do it in the mosques, in the churches, we preach it. Because after that, it's about behavior, attitudinal change. And some people, they tell you that when they are wearing it, they find it difficult to breathe. But we talk to them, and I think it's changing. But it can be one overnight. They are responding, but it can be overnight. Yes, and I'm sure that we are not also going to rest. The RCC has formed a monitoring team, and their duty is to go around and educate people about the protocol rules, whereby the face mask is one of them. So we are doing our best down and come out with it. And me, a layman, how do I criticize? You shouldn't just look at the face value and talk. I think that way they are bringing politics inside. They are bringing politics inside. As experts have sat down, find out why it's A, B, C, and D. But they say, no, if it is, it's too much. I don't think it's the right thing. So let's go through. But what they are commenting, you know, he's from the opposition. So whatever Nana is doing, he will say he's creating dust. When Nana is swimming in the pool, he will say, Nana, you are creating dust in the pool. But you and I know that you can't create dust in a river. But this is what NDC is saying. But what are the best alternatives have they given? No alternative. If you are criticizing somebody for something, no, you are doing ABC. No, I feel rather subtract C and bring D. That's positive criticism.
A total of about 75 markets and other public places were disinfected and fumigated throughout the Northeast region.
On local fronts, the Minister for Chieftaincy and Religious Affairs, Kofi Dzamezi, has called on residents of Ketu North to vote for persons that will bring rapid infrastructural and social development to help better their lives. Now, according to him, voting is a social contract for better development. In return, a situation, he says, the NDC has taken people for granted for too long. He made this call during a 3-day tour in the municipality to commission a 6-classroom block unit, among other infrastructural projects. There's more to the story.
Amidst singing and dancing to welcome the minister, they nicknamed Dola, meaning the working man. He could not resist but joined the crowd to dance while still mindful of COVID-19 protocols. He later commissioned a 6-unit classroom block at Agodeke, 3-unit classroom blocks at Weve, and later cut sod for 20-seater W toilet facility at Tajiwo, and the construction of 10 mechanized boreholes in Tokbo, a 20-seater WC toilet system at Afife, 20-seater WC toilet, and 20 lockable stores at Ehi, and cut sod for a 1D1F cassava processing factory at Awuli Kope, and 20 classroom project to start a technical school at Kavekope, all in the Ketu North constituency.
Akoda we bona majiba buvato alia komi woni ko be kala ko kala imi to wana to alia komi woni be kala ko ya ka wena ma
Tabi Akpoto, the fourth Dufia of Kave, on behalf of the constituency, thanked and prayed that he wins the parliamentary seat in the constituency to help them lobby more projects. Paramount Chief of Weta Traditional Area, Togbi Ashakbo the third, also called on his subjects to make good choice during the election, taking into account of things that would benefit them. The minister was accompanied by the Municipal Chief Executive, Honorable Anthony Avogbedo, and the Coordinating Director.
On the local front, now commercial vehicles can now resume operation at full capacity as President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo lifts restrictions on transport activity. The decision, according to President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, was taken after consultation with the Minister for Transportation and Aviation and the leadership of transport unions.
Airplanes, taxis, trotros and buses can resume regular operations, Akufo-Addo said in his 14th televised address to the nation on his administration's management of the COVID-19 pandemic. The wearing of masks in vehicles and aircrafts and the maintenance of enhanced hygiene protocols remain mandatory. The commercial vehicle operators were asked to reduce the number of passengers they carry in March after consultations with their unions. The decision was geared towards ensuring social distancing protocols in public transport in a bid to control the spread of the virus. Transport fares were later increased to help mitigate the loss of transport operators.
In consultation with the Ministries of Transport and Aviation and the leadership of transport operators, government has taken the decision to lift the restrictions in the transport sector and allow for full capacity in our domestic airplanes, taxis, trotros, and buses. The wearing of masks in vehicles and aircrafts and the maintenance of enhanced hygiene protocols remain mandatory.
All right, so away from that, the flag bearer of the National Democratic Congress, John Dramani Mahama, will formally outdoor his running mate, Professor Dinana Opoku-Agyeman, at a ceremony in Accra today, Monday, 27th July 2020. A statement signed by the spokesperson of the campaign team, Mr. James Ejenim Boateng. The former president on 6th July 2020 announced Professor Opoku-Agyeman as his running mate for the December general elections.
According to the statement, Professor Opoku Agyeman, a distinguished and respected academic, becomes the first female running mate on the ticket of a major political party in Ghana. She is also served as the first female vice-chancellor of a public university in the country and as Minister for Education. The statement said, is credited with pursuing a healthy mix of innovative policy initiatives, quality outcomes, and massive infrastructural development during her tenure as Minister of Education. The former outdooring of Professor Opoku Agyeman, according to the statement, will allow her to make her maiden policy statement since her announcement as running mate. In accordance with COVID-19 protocols, the Mahama campaign team said about 100 people, drawn from a wide array of groupings, are expected to attend the ceremony, which will be broadcast live on radio and television networks across the country. The statement urged members and supporters of NDC and the general public to follow the live broadcast of the ceremony from 6:45 p.m. on Monday, 27 July 2020. The event, with the hashtag JM and Jane 2020, will also be live streamed on a number of social media platforms, the statement announced.
Local, the National Democratic Party has led its Greater Regional Conference on Saturday, July 25th, 2020 at Nat Hall, Accra. The party at a press conference unveiled the Greater Accra Regional Executives ahead of the upcoming parliamentary and presidential elections.
Speaking to Pan-African News, General Secretary of the National Democratic Party, Alhaji Mohammed Frimpong, said the party is moving into the upcoming general elections with a team of pervasive leadership, national transformation, human empowerment, and anti-corruption. He added that to the National Democratic Party, leadership is key, hence the need to bring back the former First Lady, Nana Konadu Agyeman-Rawlings, who doubles as the founder of the NDP, to lead the party for a better and transformed Ghana. Alhaji Mohammed Frimpong urged public office holders to serve as servants and be served as sovereign.
We are moving into this election with a team, pervasive leadership for national transformation, human empowerment, and anti-corruption. Leadership for us is so key. Key in the sense that, just like we say, the common dictum, leadership is the cause and all others effect. We need transformation in this country. Yes, some transformation we think is going on. We may be converging with the establishment on a few things, but we think we still diverge in a few other things or in ideals, you understand? So we have been in the regions, all over. We've spoken a lot to our constituents, and the general clamor, to see the former First Lady back onto the scene, you can't believe it, you understand? The issue is that she's been transformational all this while. Transformation in the sense that, at the time that she could enjoy a lot of comfort, she rather preferred being in the dungeons, the nooks and crannies, dark corners of this country, making sure that there could be more empowerment. Okay. Fortunately, now that we have even democracy, it makes it better, So we want to apply leadership, to all the ills and other transformational issues that we have in this country. The most important thing is that, our maxim, we want public office holders to serve as servants. We must serve as servant. If you're a leader, you must serve as servant and be served as sovereign. Once you do that, it's better.
On behalf of elected regional executives, Mercy Blank Edo, Greater Regional Chairperson of the party, thanked the party for the opportunity given them to serve in the various positions. She indicated they are resolved to stir the affairs of the party at the regional level to help win parliamentary seats in the upcoming presidential and parliamentary elections. Madam Mercy Blanc-Edu believes that the National Democratic Party, the best party to bring transformation leadership to the country.
We, the Greater Accra Regional Executives elect of the National Democratic Party, are very grateful for the courtesy given to us. We have resolved to steer the affairs of the party at the regional level to help win parliamentary seats in the region and the presidential elections come 2020. We believe the National Democratic Party, NDP, is the best party to bring transformation to Mother Ghana. Believe it or not. We will therefore put in our whole effort, we will not leave some back. We will put in our whole effort to reach out to all Ghanaians within the Greater Accra metropolis to rally behind the party as we prepare for the 2020 general elections. God bless our mother Ghana. God bless National Democratic Party. And God bless us all.
Parliamentary candidate for Ablekuma Central constituency on the ticket of a party, Christabel Adoma Kuchei, also disclosed that the love for the country and the people of her constituency motivated her to contest in the upcoming general elections. She said Ghanaians are fed up of both the National Democratic Congress and the ruling New Patriotic Party, hence the need for a third force that will transform the country.
Yes, I have love for my country, Ghana, and my community. So I really want to go to Parliament and keep helping the way I have been doing already.
Okay, that's fine. But why on the ticket of NDP?
Growing up as a child, I liked Mrs. Rawlings because she's always there for women. She's a Pan-Africanist, and I am a Pan-Africanist. So that is the reason why.
Right, that's all right. But what are the chances of the NDP in the upcoming election?
We have a great chance. We really have a great chance. And there are a lot.
Okay, now tell us why you think that the NDP has good chances in the upcoming election.
Ghanaians are fed up with NDC and MPP. And the next party Ghanaians can, lay their finger on is the NDP.
So we have for you on our local front. Up next is business.
Oh, it's incredible! Bang on target!
Back from the quick commercial break, if you're just joining, this is the midday news right here on Pan-African Television. My name is Ivan Bance Abba. Now to some more business story. Now the Minister of Finance, Ken Ofori-Atta, has announced the government's decision to accept and approve the operation of the indigenous automobile engineering company, Kantanka Group. According to him, government has a key interest in Ghanaian automobile industry.
Mr. Ken Ofori-Atta, while presenting the media budget review in Parliament, indicated aims of government to set up the Industries Development Centre. He said this would help organize the technical processes for licensing vehicle assemblers and manufacturers. Mr. Ofori-Atta added that it would also monitor compliance with industry regulations and standards. The centre is expected to manage the implementation of a vehicle financing scheme, which will link financial institutions to persons and groups interested in purchasing newly assembled vehicles in Ghana. Furthermore, it will manage an automotive skills and technology upgrading program to provide requisite skills for the industry.
Some more business story. The Savannah Regional Minister Salifu Adams Brima has rejected the possibility of retrieving property tax as means of cushion for the assemblies in this era of COVID-19. The minister was explaining the economic effect of COVID-19 on the assemblies during the launch of the second phase of the nationwide disinfection exercise at Damongo in the Savannah region.
COVID-19 has negatively impacted businesses and other aspects of life. The economic impact of the pandemic has also affected the various metropolitan, municipal and district assemblies that depend on these small businesses for their internally generated fund, IGF. Speaking to the media at the sidelines of the launch of the nationwide disinfection exercise conducted by Zoom Lion Ghana Limited at Damongo, the Savannah Regional Minister Salifu Adams Brima disclosed that collection of property tax cannot be a cushion for the assemblies as it comes with a lot of challenges.
Rates, the assembly will tell you, as a member of a local government committee, we went around trying to increase, which should have been richer. The president had the question to even ask his floors building in Accra, where he stays. Nobody has come to ask him property rates.
The West Gonja District Chief Executive, Sahid Muhaju Jibril, explains the importance of the exercise and strategies employed by the Assembly to contain the virus in the district.
As a district assembly, we've done our best. We are on radio on daily basis, advertising and talking to our people so that they will all know the effect of this disease. And particularly, I have to be honest with you, our difficulty has to do with the mosques. It is just too difficult to get our brothers to understand that this disease is real. And so what we've done is to move into the mosques, engage the chief imams and imams of the various mosques to let them at least adhere to the 100 people depending on the size of your mosque.
All public places in the region shall undergo the disinfection exercise to stop the further spread of COVID-19.
What we have for you on our business front. Up next is international. Hello? Okay, why? My wife comes and send a message you. Hello? What's happened?
It's a child who will be a quiet say what?
I'm sorry for a friend. I'm so here. You have not testing messages here. And our office so I'm toilet time. She says, I
mean, so we a guy manu and may young who could look cry. And also wants a family drilling company limited for Kana.
What's it name? Family Drilling Company Limited.
Ye two borehole, biofuel, biogas, swimming pool, plumbing works in Naso, ye be, Frey 0240 333 111 and NASA 0244 144 822.
Miampa and no swimming pool, me see. Me want to, we'll be here. Family Drilling now. Family Drilling. Me out with that.
To the news. My name is Ivan Bans Aban. Now some stories on our international front. Journalists and other press workers have taken to the streets in Hungary protesting Hungarian's right-wing Prime Minister Viktor Urban's bid to subjugate Index Home, a major autonomous news portal in the country. The major protest march was held at the Prime Minister's office in Budapest on July 24th, Friday, protesting Urban's high-handedness over the press freedom in the country.
Internal tensions have spiked in Index Who, one of the widely read news portals in Hungary, when pro-urban businessman Miklos Vasili gained stakes in the news portal financing. On July 22, editor-in-chief of Index Who, Szabolcs Dole, was fired by the management after a while when he warned that the news portal's autonomy from the government was at risk. On July 24, protesting the firing of the editor-in-chief, 3 leading editors of Index, Attila Toth Senesi, Veronica Munz and Janos Haas, followed by more than 70 journalists working at the site, have resigned. On July 25, Hungarian leftist portal Our Time stated that total abolition of the freedom of the press is a fundamental aspiration of the Faces dictatorship in Orban. The Faces, feudalizing or neoliberal capitalist dictatorship, can only sustain itself with their lies. The grinding of the Index was long overdue, as were the other untalented system bots that were trying to appear as opposition to Orban. It's sad to say this, but the opposition press did help the Fidesz regime dig its grave. This applies not only to the current case of the Index, but also to the downsizing of Nefsa Batsag, and now 444, the HVG and another capitalist opposition media products can prepare in the same way. The suppression of freedom of the press should not have been protested now, but already in abundance during the former rule of the current opposition, when the messages of significant political currents from the left and working class in Hungary were essentially censored from the Hungarian press, said Our Time. While denouncing Orban's assault on press freedom, Vajnai Attila from the Workers' Party of Hungary 2006, European left also mocked the Hungarian liberal press's selective protests against the political establishment, who supported the expropriation of the collective farms and privatization of factories, etc. Viktor Orban has been abusing the democratic institutions in the country to tighten his authoritarian grip in power. Orban and his right-wing Fidesz party have already courted widespread controversies and protests for his totalitarian bid to control academic research in the country, his enactment of a notorious anti-labor slave law, and his campaign against the Central European University CEU and attack on migrants. Orban's move to take over absolute power under the COVID-19 has also led to criticism from progressive sections in the country.
On the international front, on July 22nd, Wednesday, health workers of Romania have protested poor working conditions and demanded government's urgent intervention in hospitals. Under the leadership of Santas Federation of Romania, several medical workers wearing PPEs and keeping social distance gathered in Victoria Square at the Romania capital, Bucharest, at protest the lack of equipment in hospital.
Following the demonstration, a 3-member delegation of health workers has met Prime Minister Ludovic Orban to discuss the demands. The major demands of the protesting medical workers were: 1. Resumption of institutionalized social dialogue at all levels. 2. Issuing the order to declare the epidemic at the national level. 3. Adaptation of working conditions to the current epidemiological situation. Raising salaries at the level corresponding to 2022 for all health workers in the health system as a natural recognition of the merits of the employees in the system. 5. Reporting all benefits to the current basis. 6. Giving the risk insensitive to all health employees in this period. 7. Identification of solutions for correcting and implementing legislation on salary rights for social workers. In their statement, the Sanitas Federation has stated that we assume this peaceful form of protest as the current epidemiological situation continues to aggravate. The state of medical and ancillary staff in the health and social care system is increasingly difficult. Increased number of infections, exhaustion, etc. And the Ministry of Health and other state authorities continue to practice the same lack of communication with the social dialogue partners since the beginning of a pandemic crisis. The Party of Democracy and Solidarity has also called for immediate redirecting of resources to the public health system so that all patients' care can be resumed, with COVID-19 or not, who need quality medical services. Health is a right for all, not a luxury asset accessible only to those who can afford it. Universal and free access to health must be the number one priority of any government, added Demos. As of July 26, there are around 16,968 active cases of COVID-19 in Romania and 2,187 people have died due to the pandemic.
For you on our international front, up next, sports with my colleague Michael Enchiboisiako.